And are we live right now?
We are.
Let's see here. We're going to wait a few seconds to make sure that we are actually live. And yeah, I think we are live right now. Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this live stream with, brought to you by Coinw with Mr. M. Mr. M, how you doing?
Hey, Da Vinci. I'm good. I know you are somewhere in Europe, so it's good to have you virtually back. It's nice.
Yes, I'm in Austria right now, in Salzburg, at this beautiful resort. Really loving it, really enjoying it. Good morning from Canada. Thank you very much. Canadians are. I don't know if you watched my other show, but Canadians are really savvy investors and smart Bitcoiners. Did you know that?
Wonder why.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be doing a great show today. It's going to be brought to you by Coinw. Coinw.davincij15.com is where you can go to do some trading, buy some crypto, and it's going to be a great show because, well, you know what? I'm going to be planning a big trade for you guys to follow me on in Coinw. I'm going to be doing it probably next weekend, right? We might be doing it live. We might be doing it on Thursday. We'll see. We'll just decide on how that goes because actually I'm going to be at a wedding on Saturday, so it's not going to be live. Okay. With that said, let's start off with the news today, and let's go over to the switch screens.
Yep.
Mr. M.
All done. All switched. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on my side. There we go. So let's talk about this interesting tweet that you made that got a lot of views and it surprised you. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. So I've never done a thread, by the way, before, and then I was here the other day thinking, well, I've been in crypto for 11 years, so let me write down some basic stuff that might help someone, and it's gone crazy, like over 20,000 views. And basically, the idea was to share some of the things that I think you have to be mindful of. I mean, of course, Da Vinci, you know all of these already, but maybe it's going to help someone who's watching the show. And everything kind of started by saying something like, you can watch videos, you can listen to podcasts, you can read books, but at the end of the day, you have to do your own research, right? This is super important because it's nice to have someone telling you stories, but at the end of the day, you should take time to invest into the learning process. The number 2 is massive for me because it says, remember to take profits, right? So what I made a bunch of mistakes in the past is when I bought something and that something doubled, then what I've done was I reinvested into something else. Whether you teach the little old lady strategy, which means whatever that thing doubles in value, will take half, right? Because then, but what I mean profit, I mean not gambling into another meme coins, just take them off, either into Bitcoin, which technically is a gamble, but for me it works, or in stablecoin or in fiat. Take those gains off the table. Number 3, super important as well. I think you should invest in.
Before you go on to that,
before
you go on to that, I have to point out, right? Because I said that to one of my staff members. Take your initial profit out, maybe a little bit more. You know what he did? He sold everything. And I'm like, where do you see the connection here between taking your profits out and selling everything?
Yeah. I know it's binary, right? Yeah.
I know exactly. It's binary in most people's heads, right?
Yeah.
And so, right? Because if you really believe in the product or meme or whatever it is, right, that you're in, then you're going to leave some in, right? It's just that I've had millions of people, not millions, sorry. I'll take that back. I've had lots of people, right, in my life that I helped them buy cryptocurrency and held it for them. And then when it did very well for them, I said, okay, well, now you take out, your principal and a little bit more and leave the rest in and see how far it goes. And of those people, I think only 2 people decided to listen to my advice and sell a portion of it and keep the rest going. Only 2. Wow. The rest, they sold everything. Can you imagine do you know how many people sold at $50 Bitcoin? and
Crazy.
Bitcoin never came back to that.
Mm-hmm.
They sold everything.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. So to give you guys an example, let's say you have $1,000, right? With $1,000, you buy a meme coin. Now the meme coin doubles. Then you have $2,000. What you can do, you can take off the $1,000 you invested. And by take off, I mean into fiat or into stablecoin, off risk, right? Then the other $1,000, you can decide to maybe split it in half, and 50% stays on the investment you've done. The other half, you buy another meme coin, so that if everything goes to zero, you have back your investment, right? My mistake, what I've done in the past, I bought something, that something doubled. So I'm like, ooh, I have $2,000 now. So what I've done was I left my $1,000 into the first project and the other $1,000 into another meme, and I kept swinging. And then in the end, everything dropped, and I was like, I lost everything, right? So be mindful, take your profit. There is never nothing wrong in taking your profit, but leave some in, let it run. Like you're saying, Da Vinci, don't sell everything, otherwise that's a bit of a problem. Number 3, invest in things you believe into it, because this market is very volatile. And if your cousin send you a message, buy this thing, and you don't even know what it is, when it will swing, and it will swing, you will panic into the selling because you don't know what you are purchasing, right? Whether if you believe into the project, if you've done some research, you will have diamond hands. You will be able to manage the emotional swings, right?
Yeah, exactly. And everybody in this space, right? If you're new to this space, if you see something drop 60% and you're panicking, one, you invested too much money. 2, that's normal. Right? 3,
Yeah.
that's crypto. You have to hold.
Yeah.
I mean, an example of that is that I told this lady to buy some bread, right? And she bought a little bit, and then it dropped, right? 60%. I'm like, yeah, so it's a rug pull. It's rug pull. I'm like, no, it's not. It
Yeah.
just it's what crypto does. So what should I do? Just buy some more if you want, right? And now she's all happy because Brett is now all time high, right?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
But if it wasn't for me, telling her this, right, she would have panicked, sold at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Then, number 4, I think you have to have a long time frame. I mean, it depends on what you're buying, but my recommendation will be try not to think about you are that guy who buys a random coin and you become a billionaire, because that's very unlikely. It takes time. I mean, it took me a couple of cycles to see some good money coming in. So having a long time frame, I think it's more realistic to say, oh yeah, jump into crypto. In a week, you'll be a millionaire. It's very unlikely. It can happen, yes, but it's the exception. It's not the rule. So having a long time frame. Number 5, play the cycles. I've seen my portfolio swinging by a decent amount of money, and it's never fun. So to deal with that, again, have a look at number 2 and number 3, which we just discussed in the list. Then number 6.
Carl and I have seen our portfolios drop, tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right. And we're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And of course, the more you are in the game, you will get used to the swings, but also at the same time, the swings becomes much bigger. Because if you started, in 2011, like you, when it swings, it will swing a huge amount of money, right? So have a long time frame. Also number 6, which you said in the beginning, invest money you can afford to lose. Don't use money you need to pay rent, for example, short term, because otherwise you'll have to sell an asset or the asset you purchase when you don't want to. So think about investing money you can afford to lose. That's also super important, because at the end of the day, if you're gambling with money you need in the short term, it's not gonna work out. Then number 7, have a plan. But most importantly, stick to the damn plan, right? I mean, you can be flexible, you can move around the plan, you can pivot, adapt, but you have to have a base to work with. If you just YOLO into some random thing without even knowing your plan, you will get a wall in your face, right?
Exactly. And a plan is to simply sell half on a double, right? That's a plan. That's a plan, right, in and of itself. That, hey, you know what? I'm going to just take your advice, sell half when it doubles. Maybe I'll sell half of even what's left, right? And put it in another meme coin, right?
Exactly.
So maybe take out 75%. right? And then 50% goes into my pocket, and the other 25% goes to another meme coin, right? That's another example of a plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that plan is, make sure you do execute exactly on that every single time without reservations. Don't say, well, it's going higher, or this person, Da Vinci said it's going higher, or this person said it's going higher. No, no, no. No, no, no. Stick to the plan.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, having a plan and stick to the plan, those are two very different things. I mean, you know that humans are greedy and we are fearful. So make sure you have a plan, but also you execute the plan, because those are two very important things. Then number
Okay,
8.
before we go on to that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let me continue. Let me just give you guys an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, right here. See, this is an example of a plan, right? So this is the take profits. This is the stop loss, and we let it execute. Win, lose, or draw, right? This is what's happening here on CoinW. We did this trade. It's still open, still running, and that's how you execute on a plan, right there.
Yeah.
It's not very complicated.
It's a really good point. I like the example. Number 8, I don't know if you agree with me on this one, but not your keys, not your coins. Yes, take custody, but only after you understood what that means. Otherwise, you can play with centralized exchanges. You can leave your money on exchanges, because if you don't understand the importance of what does that means, and you YOLO into a self-custody and you forget the passwords, oh boy, there's no one you can call. So I don't know if you agree with me here, but I would recommend, if you are a new person in crypto, it is okay to play around with exchanges to begin with. Then you can think about a plan on how to take custody of your own seed phrases, right? Because if you lose them, it's a big problem. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. It's first exchanges is your gatekeeping centralized point where they're gonna take care of you, but then you have to understand the risks of exchange. It doesn't matter which exchange it is; they all have the same risk of being hacked, right? Being taken over by governments, failing because of bad management, all kinds of things. So basically, you have to understand that that's the risk you're taking, and then plan accordingly, right? By learning to what is self custody means. When am I self custodying? Because these exchanges will, like for example, Binance will pretend, or what's it called, Coinbase will pretend you have a wallet, call it a wallet, but it's not a wallet. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's not your, right? So if you don't have a seed phrase, meaning 12 words or 24 word seed phrase, which is randomly generated, it's not something you generate, and that is protecting your crypto, then you don't own it. Somebody else does.
Exactly. And there is a lot to download if you are a new user. Imagine how complicated the whole process is, right? So, that's something I wanted to say as well. Also, number 9, I don't know if you agree here as well. I basically said, you will lose money. It's going to happen. It's part of the journey. So lose fast and lose early. In my book, it's better to lose 10K today than 1 million down the line. So 2 things here. 1, don't be too hard on yourself. And 2, learn how to let go. Because even if you are super cautious, even if you will invest into some rug pulls, you will be scammed. So it's part of the journey, right? So you have to learn from your mistakes. And sometimes you will click on the wrong link. You will get scammed. You will buy the rug. I mean, it's going to happen. If you are in crypto, you will eventually at some point lose money. So lose fast, lose early, right?
Yes. I already lost to a scam, right? Because it's so easy, especially if your mindset is fixed, right? It's all up to your mindset where it is, and you will see things even in the scam that you thought that was there. It was clear that there's a scam, but you don't. Your mind is like focused on, oh, I'm gonna make money so fast, or I'm gonna do this. This is the right thing. This is the right path to go. Well, it could be a scam. So, for example, I was writing up a document on BlockDAG, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was studying BlockDAG, and I wanted to do a research paper, and I want to research something on the BlockDAG. So I did a quick search on BlockDAG. Then this website came up and said, "Hey, this is a new BlockDAG that's even better than Caspa." And I was looking at it, and it said all the right things. And I went and quickly invested without really thinking about it. And I lost a large amount of money. Realized as soon as I clicked to send, oh no.
It will happen. It will
Oh
happen.
no.
Yeah,
Oh no. Yeah.
it will happen. So that's what I said, lose fast, lose early, because if it doesn't happen in the beginning, it's going to happen later on and you will lose more money, I think. Number 10 is one of my favorite. Surround yourself with winners, because who you spend time with is who you become. So choose your friend carefully, right? Because it's super important. And also 11, I think it's about time and money. So if you have time but no money, you can find a side gig. You can get paid in crypto. There is lots of companies, they are looking for talents. And if you are the latter, so if you have time, then don't just FOMO into the first random thing you see. So go back to number 1, which is do your own research. And then I close with saying, stay humble, stack sats. No, I don't think it's too late. We are early. And I put my Italian hands like, there you go.
Nice. Oh boy, let's quickly go through the news here. Ton market cap plunges by billions after fixing inflated supply data. Okay, so they were trying to say, yeah, we have a whole bunch of cryptocurrencies out there. Even though the supply is this much out there, they're saying it's this much, right? This much right there. This big amount.
Yeah.
And so they decided, hey, you know what? Well, actually, it's best industry practice to well, if you've got a lot of locked tokens, that doesn't actually count as supply.
Oh boy.
And no one can access. So yeah, the ton coin in the ton believers fund, that's locked. The ton held by Telegram, locked. The ton held by Open Network Foundation, locked. So
Yeah.
not part of the supply.
Do you know what reminds me this of? It's like, hey, I'm not telling you when I'm gonna sell to you. It's gonna happen. You don't know, and all of a sudden, boom, we're gonna sell when we want. But don't worry, you don't need to know. Like, who cares how much money we have, how much supply we have? You will feel it at some point, right?
Yes, exactly.
So bad. It's so bad. And I had so much faith for Ton. I mean, but after this, I mean, I have 0 Ton in my portfolio, by the way. But if I had some, I would have sold, because this is so bad. It's like the opposite of transparency. It's like, don't worry, you don't need to know how much we have, but we will sell. So you will feel it at some point.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Yes. So, well, it is what it is. All right. So, the president, the U.S. President Biden vetoes a resolution overturning SEC guidance. Basically, this guidance is that the SAB 121, is a controversial piece of SEC accounting guidance that directs financial institutions, banks, holding crypto for customers to keep assets on their balance sheet. Critics of the guidance say it makes it too difficult for financial institutions to work with crypto companies. All it is just basically that they can't hold crypto.
And it's gone.
Yes. And it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. The reason why is because banks do not, if they hold your crypto, they do not owe you crypto. I want you to understand that concept. So let's just say the bank is holding your stock. They don't owe you the stock. Did you know that?
They own you the cash worth of the stock, right? Mm. Yeah. Quack, 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 quack.
That's right. So you are just basically a liability on their balance sheet, right? The liability based on whatever asset they're holding for you, right? And so you're like, okay, so what? I want the dollars. You know that dollars are printed, right?
Yeah.
By them.
It's like, sorry, how much I owe you? Let me go and print it, and then
Yeah, let me get that from the back.
get the printer running. Oh boy.
So you might want to hold actual assets. Just say it. Just say it.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? The banks would love to hold your Bitcoin for you because then they would hold the Bitcoin but never give it to you. That'd be insane. Because look at this. This is just like BlackRock, right?
Yeah.
That'd be insane. Why
Yeah.
would I give you an asset that does extremely well?
Wow. And by the way, guys, just to break it down for you to explain how massive this is. So this shows the previous ETF record holder, which was GEPI, I don't know what that is. It took 985 days to reach to 20 billion AUM, so asset under management. Now, BlackRock, the one that Da Vinci highlighted, IBIT, took 137 days to reach 20 billion. This is massive. It's like a 10 times faster from the previous ETF record, right? So this shows, like you were saying, they're not going to let it go. They will give you fiat value. Don't worry, I owe you this. Well, I'll keep the good stuff. You take the garbage.
Hey, Tinder guy, can you just make up a little bit of money for this guy? He wants that paper.
Yeah, fresh on the printer, you know. Crazy.
Oh, damn. Wow. Oh my gosh. So to end this off, Ray, as you know, I'm doing a 3x trade here, right? The nice, somewhat safe trade, right? For Bitcoin, and I'm going to be actually adding to this trade. I'm going to do a bigger trade for you guys. I'm going to do a really big trade on Coinw next week. Oh, darn. Let's undo the lock here, bro. And I really think that Bitcoin is going to break down a little bit more here, down to maybe the 65K. And let me just bring up the chart actually of that right here. So I already have like a short happening here. And there we go. It's going to be taking, I think it's going to come down to the 65K area. And that's where I'm going to start lining up for a long position, depending on how the week goes, right? So I really think that a big long position is worthwhile, taking a bigger risk here. I don't think it's a big risk to do a 3x here all the way to approximately 100K, 109. We'll talk about more exactly on my channel where I see this is going to go. But I really think that getting in on a big trade, right, just 3x leverage, nothing major leverage, right? Still pretty high,
Yeah.
right? Because what that means is if we were to bring this, open this out, right, and we were to go a 3x leverage from here. Let's just see how far can the price go down before I get liquidated. Of course, I'll probably.
Sorry to jump in. I wanted to ask you what would be the liquidation for the 3x leverage around 65.
So let's just see. If I were to go 3x, so you'd have to go to like 30% approximately. I think you're probably around 33. It's 33% really, but you wanted to give yourself a little bit of room to understand what your worst case scenario is. So it's 45K. So is Bitcoin going to come back down to 45K? It's possible. It's not probable, right?
Yeah, I agree. Very unlikely.
Right, and so 52 is possible, right? And I could add to the trade there at 52, right? And I'm okay with that, right? And I think, it's just some people will freak out for that. If you can't handle that, don't do it, right?
Yep.
You might have to hold through a storm, right? We don't know if the stock market could. And then another thing is, if there's a collapse in the stock market, Bitcoin will drop, 60% heavily, right? Even if it has nothing to do with the stock market at all. So you might want to accept that kind of that possibility as well. So if you're going to take any kind of risk. So if you're willing to take those risks, right, then you can. And there is, without risk, there's no reward, no great reward. And that's just the way it is, right? And what you could do is go, okay, well, Mr. D, I'm not going to take that risk. I'm going to wait until that stock market crash happens. And if it does happen, that's when I'll take the risk. That's
And
another
you
option.
and you long at that point.
Yeah, that's another option.
Do,
Right. So
do you have a number in mind? Like, what would be the lowest number for you that Bitcoin can go down to?
I wouldn't do by the lowest number
Okay.
because whilst the lowest number could be anything. I would wait until that collapse, like for example the 2020 collapse, let it happen, let it finish, and then you can see the reversal. Usually that if that there's any kind of collapse for Bitcoin, it'll be a V bottom, right? So for example, in the 2020, let's just see if we can go back that far. Let's go to weekly actually because it's better.
And do you think it's possible? I know I'm asking random questions, but I think it would be good to discuss. Do you think it's possible if the stock collapse, then maybe Bitcoin is not going to, maybe Bitcoin is going to hold, right? Because everyone has to put money somewhere. Most likely it's going to be fiat. I get it. Most likely people are going to go back to the dollar, but maybe we would see Bitcoin falling down, but then everyone is going to find kind of some sort of a hope into this asset and it's not going to collapse as bad as the stock. Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But here, as we were saying before, right? Where's the 2020 collapse here? This is the okay, that was a top, and this was the 2020 collapse. And we can see that we went to 3,000, we went to 3,300. But then the week later, you just saw the V bottom. If you see right here, oops, I need to zoom in a little bit here. So that you guys can see that. Yeah, there was a V bottom right here, boom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could have taken that 3x level at any time here, and that would have been the greatest thing ever for you, right? Right? There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. Right? So those are your choices, right? Your choices, you take that 3x leverage here, or you wait for some sort of collapse in the price. But remember this. This is why Bitcoin made an all-time high well before, right? It should have, right? Well before. These guys
Yeah,
are buying.
exactly. And if you wait too much, you could be the skeleton in the meme, the skeleton next to the computer waiting for the drop that never happened. So
Mhm,
you,
mhm.
you don't want to do that either. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And this looks like we are in a bull market. So the chances are that we break this is lower and come all the way down to like what 45. That's right here. That's below the EMA ribbons.
Yeah. Wow.
Possible, but it's a lower probability at this point in time.
Yeah. Exactly. So, by the way, there is a CME gap at 9,000, but I don't think it's going to be ever filled. Marcel says, I would like to buy at 20,000 Bitcoin. I mean, good luck, mate. I don't think we're going to go down that far, but
Mhm.
hey, what do I know?
Yeah, yeah. Let's do some question and answers, and then we'll end the show for
Yeah,
today.
sounds good. So, we have a super chat, first of all, from XD Show, and he says, will Waffle be on big exchanges?
We're going to eventually get there, of course. But we're going to start with small exchanges, maybe Coinw, right? Will be our exchange for waffles. We will be talking about that in the next little while. But I'm going to just do one exchange only,
Hmm.
and it's going to they're going to be the exchange until we get to 100 million. So everything that we do in the waffles camp will be based on market cap. We will execute on different tasks once we get to the market cap that we state that those tasks are going to be done. And yeah, I think the first one is we're going to have one exchange, and the reason why we're only going to have one, unless the others want to just automatically list us, then they can do that, of course.
Yeah.
Right? But we're going to start with one, and then at 100 million, then we're going to start knocking on the doors of other exchanges and getting on. Probably we'll get on the big ones once we get over 100 million for sure. For sure, it'll be easy. It'll be a walk in the park.
Nice. Yeah, sounds good. We have a few more. So Draw is asking, what's your take on Jasmy? I have no idea what that is. Do you know Jasmy?
None. We're gonna have to
Yeah, sorry
go
guys.
on to next.
Yeah, there is too many altcoins. Sorry, we don't know what that is. File NFT says, good morning. What's your thought on ETH? We're gonna break out today, this weekend, or Monday? We didn't talk about Ethereum actually.
No, we didn't talk about Ethereum, but Ethereum looks like it's broken its downtrend here, and then it's creating higher highs here, as you can see, higher lows. Higher lows. Sorry. And so this is probably a new uptrend here. So let's just see if this new uptrend, because we're fighting this support and resistance level here, and if we're holding above this resistance level, which is now support, I guess. And if we continue, right, we can see, right, with all this Wing here, that we can probably take off to back to the 4K area, because usually when it breaks this downtrend, if it breaks it to the upside, then 4K is the target. So hey, it's a clear indication. So I would say that this is a good long. And you can say, okay, well, stop loss at somewhere around this wick down here, right? Boom. So it's a good, decent long.
Nice.
Next.
And we have a few more. We have a few more. Okay, this one. Hi, Da Vinci. When do you think Bitcoin will go to 100K?
Well, I think Bitcoin can go to 100K this year. We see it by Christmas time, well over 100K. So it's a good bet to go to coinw.davincij15.com and put in a 3x long, right? I mean, it is a risk, but 3x long is a decent thing to do. And I wouldn't you could put a stop loss of 60,000, but if we're still in that range, right? And that range is that there's still a higher probability to get stopped out on the 60K.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. This one I like, from Anubis, and he says, hey, Da Vinci, I love you. I'm a big fan. Please give me your opinion on Rune protocol, especially DOG.
I have no idea about Rune protocol beyond that, the fact that it's on Bitcoin, and it's a means of communications of putting coins or assets on Bitcoin, some sort of asset on Bitcoin, and I don't know much about it, so sorry.
Yeah, same. I mean, besides factory and inscriptions, not sure. Dallas says, thoughts on Solana. I'll let you go because I'll let you say your piece. I mean, bye.
Well, if you hold Solana, don't be surprised if you're SOL. Sometimes, because sometimes it's online. SOL.
Yeah,
it's up and down.
I mean, PayPal launched their stablecoin on Solana. I only have to say, I mean, good luck. I think Solana is going to do well. I mean, I'm sure you can agree here in this market, it's gonna pump, and hopefully they can fix some of the issues. But it's interesting. They have a very different approach, which is, they want to break things while they go. Whether other chains like Ethereum, maybe they're more conservative and they just, they don't want to break the network, because technically you don't want to break it. So kudos for them to do something different. The meme coins are exploding on Solana. It's fast, it's cheap. But I don't know, Da Vinci, if you agree with me here, but if your USP is being fast and cheap, I mean, how long is it going to take for another chain to be faster and cheaper, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's the thing, right? You can be fast and cheap, but not good quality, right?
Yeah,
it's just the way it is, right? And so people are willing to accept the fast and cheap over good quality, right? And the market has spoken, right?
fair enough.
The meme coins are there. The NFTs were there, right? And yeah, we'll see that it will continue to do well, and that's why we're going to see, Solana get over $1,000 easily, maybe even get it to $2,000 or more in this next bull run. So make sure you have some Solana, right? And this is where the meme coins. You'll see the meme coins outperform everything in the space, we're going to probably see a meme coin time where if we calculate all the meme coins and all other cryptocurrencies, it'll be higher. And people will be like, what?
Yeah.
And the reason will be is because those meme coins will be backed up by Solana, right?
Yeah.
And so effectively, right, it's going to be a derivative layer, right? You know how the derivatives look. Um, um, let's see here. If we were to bring up derivatives, right, the derivatives are just massive. They're just bets on top of bets. And so that's how it will end up looking like, right? But all that will get wiped away very fast during the bear market.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, guys, we don't hate Solana whatsoever. I think, like you said, Da Vinci, it will
No,
have a play. It will have a play in the market. I like what you said. It's always a trade, right? So you have to give something in to have something back. So if you want to have cheap and fast, you might have to trade quality, right? Because the chain goes down a lot. But on the other hand, you have Ethereum, which is kind of expensive if you want to compare the fees. And by the way, when you use Phantom Wallet, it's so well put together. I love Phantom much more than MetaMask, right? So it's like, it depends. It depends on where you want to put your money. It's up to you at the end of the day. As long as you do your research, I think Solana is going to stay. It's going to do well.
I have to disagree with your statement on Phantom and
Okay.
over. I think Soulflare is much better. Here's
Okay.
why.
Okay.
One of the things you want to do with any kind of wallet is you want to swap tokens, right? And so that's available in Phantom. But what's not available is that if you take the token address, because that's how you know you've got the right token, right? Is with the token address, because names can be forged. You can't find the asset, right? On Phantom,
Okay.
right? Whilst on Soulflare, you could just paste in the token address and boom. This is a huge, huge advantage over Phantom. Now, if you've already have the asset, what you do, right? What I tend to do, right, is I go onto the asset and I should say I'm going to trade it to Solana. Then I flip them around, so this way it's easier to buy it, right? Because if I do it the other way, if I have Solana put in the Solana and try to find the asset, I can't find it, especially if it's an asset that's just new, fresh, and stuff like that. Whilst if it's a fresh asset for Soulflare, you can actually easily put it in. Now, some people might consider that a feature, not a bug, right? Because then you're not going to, YOLO into some new coin, right?
Yeah.
But for a true degen, that's where Soulflare comes in.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Right? So, this is why I'm telling you, guys, we have to do. I think we should do a channel where we just talk about tools, crypto tools, because there's so many out there, and comparing them, right? Comparing them wallets by playing with them, using them, buying assets with them, and seeing what's the difference, right? That I think we could share that information and that knowledge with you guys, because there's so many tools, not just in a sense of like on your phone, but as websites too, that will actually make you money.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, and by the way, there is so many things we have never maybe even used, which means we can show the audience how we react to it the first time we are seeing it. It could be a hardware wallet, it could be a website. There's so many. Yeah, that's that's a good idea.
I think that's just an advantage for our viewers, right? That I think it's a great thing to have. I don't know. Is there anybody doing that in the YouTube land? Probably. I'd be surprised if there's no one is.
Probably, but not. I don't think anyone has broken the quote mainstream. Maybe there are small channels doing it. And by the way, kudos to you guys doing it. But it's funny because sometimes me and you actually we are doing it off camera, and we are like, oh, what is this? What is this? How do you use it? And we, we struggle, and we have extensive experience in crypto. So imagine if you are a newcomer and you go, holy, how do I do this? Right?
I know. I struggle all the time. I struggle all the time to do things, and yeah, I think we can show people the struggle and understand that you're going to have these pain points when you're doing, like, for example, I don't know if anybody knows what a bridge is. Do you know what a bridge is?
Yeah, but I
Bridging?
mean, yeah, it just
It, it's like you can move USDT from your Ethereum to Solana.
or a Matic, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so damn confusing. Like, for example,
Mhm.
I end up in having some USDT saying, okay, but wait, are they on Matic now? So how the hell I'm porting them back into Ethereum? It's
Mhm.
even though it sounds crazy now with many more coming on Solana, you'll have, it's going to be tricky. And then you think you have the asset, you think, okay, I have Tether, so I can move it from my Matic wallet to my Ethereum wallet. No, you have to first convert it into, it's just so complicated. So yeah, and
Yeah.
like
It's
like you
actually you're bridging actually, which is if you have USDT somewhere, anywhere, right, in any particular platform, you can bridge it to another platform, right? But that's depending on the platform. It could take anywhere. It could be instant to hours.
Yeah. And then you have to go through some serious headaches, and if you don't know exactly how to do it, it could be stressful because, remember when you play with money, if you click the wrong button, you can lose everything, right? So,
Mhm.
and it's not like you can call the bank and say, hey, hello, I was bridging some Matic into USDT on Ethereum. They go, dude, leave me alone. So it's like, it's hard, man. It's really hard.
Exactly. All right. Well, guys, thank you for all your questions. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know I enjoy doing these live shows, and with 300 of you, I really appreciate all you guys coming out and watching this live show. So, cheers to you.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Da Vinci. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Cheers.